Hi there, welcome to our channel. I'm Vic.
I'm Nick.
And we are NV Board Gaming. And today we're going through the 2 to 4 player game, Ganymede. This is designed by Hope Huang and Oliver Mutu, and it's published by Sorry We Are French. Nick is going to go through how you play, and then we're going to give our reviews.
All right, welcome to the table. Set up for, as usual, a 2-player game. And check it out, we actually have a mat that works with the game we're playing. That is not typical. Usually I'm playing some weird Euro on a space mat. But here we are, we're in space, Ganymede. Going from Earth to Mars, Ganymede, getting the hell out. Getting victory points, seeing who has the most and is going to win. And the whole game, their purpose is to get your ships out of Ganymede. But to do that, you're going to have to leave Earth, you're going to leave Mars, you're going to get to Ganymede with these conditions at the right side of your board. You can see meeples of the same color right here, meeples of different colors right there. If you meet those conditions, you can leave and get victory points. Beginning of the game, we're going to set up for a 2-player game, so we're going to have 7 meeples of all colors, and that'll depend on player count. So if you have more players, there'll be more meeples out there. You're also going to get 4 cards here, and you're going to pick 2 that you want to keep. These are the victory point conditions. So if you think you're going to get a lot of these, maybe I'll go ahead and draft one of them, because the conditions here are what give you the victory points, 2 per the ones you have. So you can have up to 6 victory points because you had noticed you have 3 slots for these tokens right here. We also have these little factions right here. So if you think you're going to get this yellow faction, it looks like a gear. Hopefully I'm holding that right. If you have that, you can get 2 for each one that you have down here in your card area. You can see those factions listed out at the bottom of your player mat. So let's just say I take those 2. And I'm going to go ahead and discard these. So these will come out. We're going to put them face down at first, but then we can go ahead and simultaneously reveal where we put them. I'll put mine here and here. Kind of dictates what you want to go for. If you want to go for 3 of a kind, or if you want to go for a straight, in poker talk, straight. All different colors. My opponent's doing the same thing at the same time, so you would look at some other cards. Here's just a straight 5 victory points. I want to mention, though, so this 4 victory point has something right here. It gives you a little bonus. In this case, whenever you see a white meeple, it means a meeple of any color goes on Earth. All right, so you can see there's actually a capacity on these on the board. So you can have 6 meeples on Earth. You can have 5 at any time on Mars. So just keep that in mind, that you can overpopulate these 2 items right here. You cannot have more than that. So on your turn, you are going to do one of a few things here. You can take, and it shows this on the board, you can take one of these. Well, at the beginning of the game, you're going to set up to where you have all the colors out here, red, purple, yellow, and blue, and the rocket symbol. Every game's going to start with those as the starting pair for these tickets. So if I have my cards here, let's just say I'm looking at what is going to leave Earth. Well, maybe I want, I'm looking at this, maybe I want a purple because I have 2 that are purple right here. So I'll take this, I'll put it here, and I will get a purple on Earth and a rocket, which means I get another card. So the cards out here, there's that one of the factions. There is one that goes about reputation. So as much reputation as you get during the game, you'll get victory points for that. And you have one that's 4, and it lets you move twice. Well, I'm going to take that one. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to put it in my hand because I don't have a spot to put it right now. So I'm going to put it in my hand with the other 2 that I would have. Actually, no, I don't have any. So this is the only card. That's kind of why it does that. It does that so you get cards. It forces you to get another card. Otherwise, I don't have any because I put both of them that I got out. But this will be in my reserve for later. And that will replenish, as well as the top. And then it's the other player's turn. Now, they can't do these really yet because they don't have meeples. These are like prerequisites. You have to think of that. These are the Earth cards here. You have to have, if you take this card, you're going to have the yellow and the red on Earth in order to move them to Mars. So think of this as a shuttle leaving Earth. You drew an Earth card, a shuttle leaving Earth, sending them to Mars. And then if you take that, you also have an action at the bottom often. Not always, as you can see right here. You have nothing there. So they're going to take one of these as well. they see 3 cards with yellow out there. So let's just say they take this because they want that extra card and a yellow. So now they, on their player board, add the yellow to Earth, and they'll take a rocket card as well. Maybe they plan on going heavy on this track of reputation. They'll take this one. I didn't actually do the draft for them, so let's just throw something out there. I'm just going to play through this a little bit. Why not? So this goes up here, and we're going to replenish. Now, one interesting feature is that you can piggyback off of these right here. So this yellow faction, if I were to take this one, I would actually do the action twice because this has that symbol. So on this player's turn, though, and what would he have? He has, let's say this is me. I have this one purple. So I actually do meet that if I just want to do that simple, but I don't. And I see that they have yellow, so I could be mean and go ahead and take that. And it does make sense, kind of, because that if I get a yellow, I'll be able to send both of those off. I'm looking at the board right now to see what I would like to do, because it does matter as well what is going to leave Mars, so what makes it easiest on me. And I'm thinking I want to take that yellow from them. But just so you know, I want to explain the rule. If let's say I didn't take it and they got to play it, they can trigger off this action twice. They can either put 2 yellow, 2 blue, or 1 of each for their action. They have to do this tile, but since they have one of these, they can do it twice. Same thing would be the case. They can do it 3 times if they got another one later. Alternatively, they could trade for them. If they filled up with 3, they can trade. Or they could also discard one of theirs on their turn in order to do one of these actions. These actions, and I'll give you a closer look. Right here, you can discard one of those tiles to do one of these actions. You already know this one. This one puts a meeple on Earth. This one is to move, and it can move any of these arrows, including between these two right here, these 2 shuttle areas. This right here will change a color of a meeple to another color of your choosing. This will give you one of those reputation markers. And every time you hit one of these gears, you're going to go ahead and do a repeat of these actions. You can see right here, every gear gives you a free action. And alternatively, the last choice would be to take one of those shuttle cards to give you more choices for victory points. So that's always an option to you too. The last option was the one I mentioned here about taking these cards right here. You have to have this prerequisite on the planet. If it's Earth, you take here. This is where you want to take off from Earth. This is where you want to take off from Mars to get Ganymede. So let's just play through a little bit. They got the yellow. They did not take this, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that. But they got the yellow, they got the card. I'm going to put these here just to make it more legitimate. Now it was back to me. And I chose to go ahead and do that. I am going to go ahead and take that yellow. Put it down. That's all I can do because these do not match. It goes back to the other player. And they see not as great choices out there now. But they have the yellow. They're not as worried about that because they think, okay, well, this player probably here is going to go ahead and use that. So they're not worried about that. They do want that red now, though. And they see a pair of reds out there. So, you know what? They're going to go ahead and take... They're going to take this one. And hope that that one's available for them when it comes around to them, maybe. They're going to take that, which will give them a card. We'll just say they take this. Because they do. Let's see what it's out there. If we're playing it legitimately, and they're going to get this one, it's a yellow. Yellow is not a choice. It's any of these. So they might not. Let's see. That's not a choice. How about the ones to leave with red? So they will take this one, because maybe they'll end up with that double red. We'll see. They're going to go ahead and take that, face down. Another one comes out. So they got their red meeple on Earth. So they're just sitting pretty too. So are they. They see that. All right. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to take this. And here it's going to line up with the faction. I'm going to ship off the purple and the yellow as indicated by my card, leaving Earth. going to Mars. So both those fellas went to Mars, and I am going to get immediately a reputation. So I'll move that up 1. And you can see there's victory points for reputation as far as you get, and those gears like I mentioned. But this is going to go, I'm going to go ahead and tuck it underneath. I'm done with that for now. I'm going to tuck it underneath to let me know that I have 1 in that faction. Why is that important? Well, we'll see soon. I'm going to replenish that. This player is going to go. And they're going to do as expected. They're not going to do the bonus here. They don't really want to recolor, but they do want to move. And they do want to put that right under the yellow that they took. So they did the action to move off Earth onto Mars. And they're on their way. Now, really, I want to move right here. I want to do that. Or get movement actions based on these right here. In order to get this, I would need another yellow and a blue. Oh, do I have anything that will pair? I do have this, which would be nice. I can get 2 yellows. Now that's interesting. I do want to do that. I want to take this. And since I have 2 of these purple icons, I can do this action twice. I want 2 yellows. So 2 yellows going on Earth. And my turn is done. Next player. Okay. They have... maybe they want to work for another red, and that would work out nicely here. If they want to go ahead and set up for that, they certainly could. That would be a good idea. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to trigger it off twice. I'm going to take a red and a yellow, I believe. Or do I want to stack all reds? Let's stack all reds. I'm going to take 2 reds. And I did that again because those match, and I can do this action twice. And I chose red both times. So boom. Done. Replenish. My turn here. I'm looking at how I'm going to move. I need to get a blue. And I have a couple options of doing that. Remember, I can always discard to do that too. But I'd rather just take that and maybe get rid of this yellow right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this yellow, and I'm going to trade it for this blue here. Now this blue either, oh sorry, it's a white faction, but I'm calling it blue because I know I'm taking this. I'm not taking the movement. So I'm going to get rid of this in place of that. And I'm taking a blue. The reason I'm doing that is because I want this card right here, where it has a blue and a yellow. I want to be able to move them to here. So I'm doing that. That was revealed. Back to this player. Oh, I had to replenish this. These should always have 3, these should have 4, 4. Back to this player. They know that they would like to move here. They need these reds to move. They could do that. Let's see, right here. This is perfect for them. They're going to take this. They're going to get rid of this yellow right here. And now they have 3 actions with this. So they can do anything they want. They can move the 3. They can get 3 reds. Well, we know we want 1 more red here. But actually what I want is 2 reds here. That'd be nice. So that's what I'm going to do. I can move twice. And let's see. I think I want to move 1 more. So I'm moved 3. So I'm going to go ahead and move 1 more. I'm going to put it here. Because what I'm trying to do is get all 3 reds here. I have 2 here. I have a way of getting it right there. And I can see my opponent can't do that because they don't have 2 reds here. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and that'll be my turn. I'm just going to play until we go ahead and get victory points off something. So right here, we are going to look what we're doing here. It's hard to manage, like, oh, what was I doing with this player? What was I doing with this player? But I have to evaluate what I was doing here. I believe I would want to get that blue. Did I not get the blue? Maybe I forgot. That's what I did. When I did this, I got a blue. And now I can move here. And I can send blue and yellow. Launching. And I have 1 free movement. Well, where do I ultimately want to score? Looking at the cards here, I have a way of moving 2 yellows, so I probably won't want to move them. I would probably want to move this yellow right there. I'm at capacity now, but I'm trying probably to get 3 yellows right here. keep in mind these score at the end of the game, so it's not that big a deal what you have at that current time, but it is a big deal at the end of the game what you have. So this card goes right under the blue. And now we're going to replenish this. And this player sees that golden opportunity of go ahead and send in those 2 reds on over. They take that card, they move the 2 reds over. They can recolor if they want. No, they're not interested. So they will just do that and put that underneath and ignore that. These people go back to the supply. This gets scored at the end of the game, but we do have an immediate reward, which is another person. And also we're going to put another card out there. That looks good right there. And they're going to get another person out there. They can either go for this run, or they can go for all 3 of a kind. If they want to just take it easy and go ahead and do the 3 of a kind again, they can go ahead and do that. Whatever they're choosing. And that was done because that card let us know that we could. And you're going to be doing this back and forth until somebody has 4 ships that have left Ganymede. The most victory points at that point. So you're going to have equal turns. The first player will not get a turn if this will not get the extra turn. It'll end on the second player if you're doing a 2-player game, whatever. You know how it goes. Once everyone has equal amount of turns, game will be over after somebody has 4 ships that have left Ganymede, and most points will be the winner. You're going to calculate points based on all of the ships over here and your reputation right here on the track, based on how far you have gotten. In this case, I would have only gotten 1, and this player would have gotten 0. All right, that's how you play. We'll come back and tell you our thoughts of the game. All right, welcome back for the review of Ganymede. This is I feel like it's almost like a filler in that it takes maybe 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. It comes in a decent-sized box. It's not like in a small box that you think of a lot of filler, like card games and things like that.
It's not a baby box.
Yeah, so I think this fits the bill for something you want that has good decision space, and it's quick. Mm-hmm. It's you're going to play, it says, the box says 20 to 40 minutes. Yeah, so I would say 30 minutes. It fits. In our first play, I felt like it took us, even with the teach, maybe 30, 35 minutes. So right in that area, about 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, the decisions are really good. So I have been a sucker lately for great decisions and a simple rule set. Mm-hmm. And I consider this game light medium,
Yeah,
I'd say.
I agree with that.
On the lighter end of medium. Yeah, a lot of good things to say about it, actually. I really do enjoy the game. I enjoy how easy the decisions and how puzzly the decisions are. So you only have 3 options for your action. You can discard one of your tiles on the top and do one of those basic actions. Mm-hmm. You can draw an Earth or Mars card as your other option.
Yeah.
And your last option was the very first one to actually draw one of those tiles. Those are your 3 options. Which one fits the bill? But it's a big puzzle because you're trying to get the right people at the right time in the right spaces.
Places in the right combination.
Yeah.
The right combination of colors. And one thing I'll quickly add is it's nice that it's printed on the boards of what your actions are. I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And I like how you can pretty much explain to anybody what your goal is. You can say, these are the things you want here. These are the things you want here. And you're trying to puzzle out not just the right colors, but the movement. There are different ways you can move. You can discard something to move. You can draw a tile and get you to move. One of the cards you draw for Earth or Mars might get you a move action. So there are cool things, those gears on the reputation, that can be a move action too, because you get to pick when you hit a gear which basic action you're going to do. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to, really you want to move as much as you can, and it doesn't always have to be in this restrictive pattern of you need the yellow-blue or else you can't do anything. Mm. Well, I can move and then get that pattern. There's ways for me to do that.
Change colors.
You can change colors.
Change the colors of your guys. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's nice that you can stack those tiles to do more actions by matching the colors.
That is super cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
I love that when things work out. They often don't, though.
Yeah, that's
but
good.
When I was doing that little run through, I just did a few actions until one of the players was able to get victory points. I had a massive thing going on with the player to the right. Mm-hmm. I had this thing that there was all 3 were red, and I was triggering that off. I'm like, oh, they're done. So they got to go ahead and do that. Negative, I will give a negative on the reputation track. I feel like there are victory points that they show based on your reputation, but it's hard to get that far.
It is,
I feel like I'm never going to draft those reputation ones that correlate, the victory points correlate with your reputation. Because unless you, maybe I'll try a game where I just focus on reputation a lot, because that is a basic action, is the reputation if you want. So if I really did focus on it, maybe that could work, because doing that, those gears, that's the great thing about the fact that they're gears. So there is some incentive during the game to do that. It's not just, do that for victory points.
Yeah.
I get actions. I don't know if it would work out for me very well if I decided to go that route.
I wonder, it would be nice if the game gave you reputation for shipping off people, for having a shuttle launch. Like, that would be a nice thing to just gain reputation because you launched a shuttle. That would just be a simple way. And then other ways that you can add to that reputation through the other mechanisms. Okay. And hopefully that's not a rule.
No.
That we missed.
No, it'll have the simple reputation when you get that, if that is something that the card's going to give you.
Yeah, because some do. Yeah. Some of the ships have special little bonuses, which is another nice thing that you get. When you launch somebody, you get like an extra reward for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So is that it for your negatives?
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers my pros and cons. So I'm going to go ahead and give my score as an 8.3. Highly recommend it. And the reason we're doing this video right now is this thing is on sale for $14 on Miniature Market. So I said, this jumps ahead of the line. Ganymede's got to go out. We got to tell people this is actually a very, very, very good game for $14. An incredible game. This game is a 9.8 at $14. Get that.
And today is March 31st that we're recording this, so in case...
Hopefully it's still out there.
Yeah.
Last I checked, it was still out
there. Just to give some context. So for me, I share a lot of the positives that Nick shares about the game. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really nice and quick, easy to learn, teach it to people. I think it is almost a gateway game too, of trying to teach people about, you're not really placing where it's not a worker placement, but it's what is that action? Card selection? Or like, what would you call this kind of game? What is the mechanism?
Let's see. Yeah, it's interesting.
I don't know.
You're drafting.
Mm-hmm. Drafting, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's just a game. It doesn't have a name. But it's fun. It's easy to teach to people. I think that people will be responsive to it. The theme is nice for me. I like space stuff, so it's kind of cool to put them on different planets, launch them off. The switching that you can do of the meeples is nice. So you can always, like I mentioned, change the colors. You can move people around in different ways, like move them from one shuttle to the other shuttle back and forth. You get to choose what point cards you're assigning, like what shuttles you're deploying. So it's not like you're stuck with one particular reward. You get to choose those rewards. So you can put those in certain places depending on what you see out there with the meeples. So that's kind of
it has a lot of good mechanisms. Like you were trying to hint at. It's hard to pinpoint what it is, but there's set collection, because it's incentivized set collection. Not just the meeples where you're trying to get 3 of a kind. But the cards is incentivizing you to collect sets of those cards. In that you want them all to be matched up.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, as a bonus is to have
tiles at the top.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to go for.
Yeah,
and a lot of ways to get points, which is always nice. So we like meaningful decisions. We do like I'll speak for myself, but I like the point salad games. I like the ways that you can get different points. And this game isn't like you're getting a point.
No, this game is not.
It's not a point salad, but it's just nice that you have different ways to get points.
Yeah.
It's not just one thing you're doing. There's many different things you can do.
Yeah, you're probably going to average about 20 points all game, but it's a 30-minute game, so.
And as for negative, I mean, I really didn't have much. I thought that the quality was good. You get the cardboard tiles, that they're like a little bit more durable. It's easy to set up too. It's not too crazy. There's not, the cards I guess could have been bigger, but why? Like, what would the point be? Some people don't like the little cards. I know that I've heard some people, not about this game in particular, but some people just don't like having little cards.
Yeah, these are about the same as like an Eldritch Horror, the assets, and things like that size.
But I don't mind little card. I'm a little girl. I'm short, so I don't mind.
Quick game, you might want little cards.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need the big boys out there. So yeah, I like that, and there's not much to say in terms of negative at all for this game. So my score for this game is an 8.1. Enjoy it for what it is. Like it. We don't always need brain burner games. We don't always need to be sitting there with analysis paralysis. But there is, with this game, like Nick said, it's a puzzle component. So it's not as simple as just like grab a meeple, put them on a planet. No. You have to think, you have to look at what cards are out there and how do you want to move your meeples in the future and what's your opponent doing.
Yeah, you do care what your opponent's doing.
You do care, because if you don't pay attention and they snag that thing that you needed, it can be a little devastating towards it.
It's good to know what they can do too. Because if you have 2 reds, well, they don't. They have a purple and a yellow. It's like, well, they can't do that. So I'm not
They're
worried.
not going to go for that.
They
Yes. It's a big part of the game. As a little pro tip, as someone who's a professional player of this game. No, but it is something we found. There's a lot of interaction in a good way. It's not mean. I mean, it can be, but it's not brutal. It's not, you're not blowing up someone else's shuttle and going, ha ha, your meeples are dead. So yeah, a really fun game. Highly recommend it from both of us, and at a great price as of March 31st, 2021. We did think that it's selling. I don't know if it's still available, but check it out if you can.
Hopefully it's still there by Friday. We're going to put this straight through Friday. This is going to be our upload. Hopefully it's still there. You're not going to get a better game for $14, really. There might be some out there, some little card games that are awesome, but as the board game, what you're getting here is an incredible value at $14. Incredible value.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content. We will see you next time.